This deposit is big. In terms of a geologic resource, it's one of the biggest undeveloped copper deposits in the US, probably the biggest undeveloped molybdenum deposit in the world, and it contains today geologic resource based in the measured, indicated, inferred categories over 8 billion pounds of copper, 3.5 billion pounds of molybdenum, 400 million ounces of silver, plus the tungsten and the rhenium.
All right, welcome back inside our proactive newsroom. And joining me now is Andrew Brodkey. He is the CEO of Idaho Copper. And Andrew, it's good to see you. How are you?
I'm good, Steve. Good morning, and thank you for having me on.
Yeah, excited to learn a bit more about what's been going on within the company. And maybe for those not familiar, tell me a little bit about Idaho Copper.
Be happy to. So we're a publicly traded OTC company. We're actually uplisting in the process to the NYSE Amex a little bit later this year. The company's been around for quite some time, and it's sort of one of these hidden gems. And we are in the gem state, Idaho, so I kind of use that as a little bit of a play on words. But our big project is called the CuMo Project. That's C-U-M-O, C-U for copper, M-O for molybdenum. Those are the two big metals that we've got. In addition, the deposit includes silver, tungsten, and rhenium, and every one of those is either a critical metal or a critical material for U.S. federal government funding purposes. So we'll talk about that a little bit later. The Kumo deposit was first found in the 1960s by AMAX, which was a company that at the time was very big into moly, copper, and other metals. And it passed through a number of different hands till the early 90s. That's when the first serious drilling campaigns took place. During that period of time, from probably 1993 through about 2012, there was about 100,000 feet of good drill core developed. A lot of what we would call interim preliminary economic assessments were put together, mining resources, both the measured, indicated, and inferred category. And that led to a document in 2020, which was an updated preliminary economic assessment. We call that PEA for short, where the author was SRK out of their Canadian office. And I joined the company a couple of years after that, inherited that document, and saw that we had quite a bit to work with, but quite a bit more of work to do. That document that was authored by SRK talked about a 150,000 ton of a mill, a very big mill by today's standards, and went to call for an initial capital expenditure of over $3 billion. Even though this deposit is big, in terms of a geologic resource, it's one of the biggest undeveloped copper deposits in the US, probably the biggest undeveloped molybdenum deposit in the world, and it contains today geologic resource based in the measured, indicated, inferred categories over 8 billion pounds of copper, 3.5 billion pounds of molybdenum, 400 million ounces of silver, plus the tungsten and the rhenium. But $3 billion of capital was too much. So that's where we had to head this direction of this company. We had to bring that capital down.
Yeah, and there's work going on for that as well, right? You're hoping to update that PEA this year, is that right?
Absolutely. We expect by the end of this year, we'll have a new updated PEA that will show much, much better economics than the 2020 document. Because what we did, Steve, during 2024 was two basic fundamental technical studies that really have helped this project move along. The first was to use XRF, that's X-ray fluorescence scanning, on about 35,000 feet of our core to prove that the ore body is what we call variable. The ore body itself is what most people would say is a copper molybdenum porphyry. Those are the big, big deposits that are mined in Arizona and throughout the US and some in South America as well. But generally in a porphyry, you see the mineralization somewhat evenly distributed. We don't have that type of a porphyry. Almost all of our mineralization is contained in what's called a stockwork system. Very thin veins. Imagine in the room you're in right now, you have 3 or 4 or 5 veins, a finger width going through the whole room, and those carry all the metals. So the key to making this project work was to separate those thin veins from the rest of the rock, which doesn't carry much of the metals. And that's what we did during 2024. In addition to that scanning, which proved that the ore body is variable, so it's amenable to separation, we sent enough material up to a provider called MineSense based in Vancouver, BC. MineSense has their installations that throughout the world and with all the major companies on what we call ore sorting. Ore sorting is very simple, separation. How do you separate the good stuff from the lower grade stuff and the waste? And that's what we
Yeah.
proved. Our material is amenable to ore sorting. All that technical work during 2024 has led to this year, where we've hired Bar Engineering out of their Denver office to head up our PEA update. We also engaged Whittle Consulting out of Australia. They're very, very well known to optimize the pit phases, to optimize the whole project, which is going to lead to, as you just indicated, an updated PEA by the end of this year. The economics are going to be significantly better than the 2020 document. The 2020, just by comparison, said the IRR was under 10% and the NPV at 8% discount was $356 million. We're looking for numbers that are going to come off the page that are going to be that much better. But I
Okay.
can't talk about it in anything more than wait till we publish this, and you'll see how good this is going to be.
I get it. I get it for sure. You mentioned obviously that the critical metals that you have within the project right now. I know that you're looking at potentially some DoD grants as well in order to move things along as well, because as you mentioned, those metals are in demand right now and something that everyone's looking for.
Yeah, absolutely. Rhenium and tungsten, for example, are used in various defense applications. Copper has been designated by the DoD as a critical material. Everything that we've got is useful and critical in terms of domestic processing, production, and usage. So we fall squarely within the types of grants that I think are available at the federal level. We have a white paper that's just about ready to go. We've hired a DC consultant to help us put that into final shape. And we've identified the various sub-agencies within the DoD, for example, that we intend to send the white paper to. We've also decided to hire a Washington lobbying firm that'll help us open the doors and get us in front of Congress, administration, and the various agencies that we're looking to defer some of the future costs for our project. Because the next set, after we get through the PEA, the next stage of the project is a pre-feasibility study, a PFS. We budgeted around $40 million for that. We hope that at least half of that can be offset by either government grants or loans or some combination thereof.
Wow, it's going to be the next 3 months and into 2026. Very busy for you, Andrew. Thanks so much for your time. Really appreciate it and look forward to following your story as it develops. Okay.
Thank you for the opportunity, Steve. Take care.
All right, good stuff. There's Andrew Brodkey, the CEO of Idaho Copper.